All right, courtroom watchers, buckle up. What starts as a calm hearing turns emotional fast. Judge Stevens is about to face a frustrated father pleading for his son's future. The twist? The son keeps failing drug tests, and dad's about to clash head-on with courtroom reality.
The scientific test proves otherwise. Well, it's not a debate. I'm sorry, it's not a debate. If he has drugs in his system when he's tested, that's all we know for sure, because you don't have any method of telling when that went to us. You're going to speak over me? You don't have any method of telling when that might happen. You don't know. You don't know. But when they're tested in the courtroom, when they test positive, sorry, they shouldn't have been ever using drugs in the first place. But when it tests positive, there is no way you can say that didn't have anything to do with recent use, misuse, not you. So you can, all right. You need to tell your attorney the court's orders are what they are. I'm not changing them because of your opinion. Who is the attorney on the case? Who? Don Ducler. Don Ducler. Is he around?
I didn't understand why he didn't say that to you in the beginning when you reported on. He didn't argue anything, and I didn't understand that.
You need to call him and talk to him. Don, what's his phone number?
Walk down on me, sir. I'm
going to give you his phone. I'm going to give you his phone number. Here, come on out. Yeah, you have a right to talk to him and to get heard and find out what his plan is on representing your family. Yeah.
Your Honor, I tried to speak with him, and he told me he didn't care and that I had to go do something. We tried to speak to him 3 weeks since he was appointed to him. He would not answer his phone. He would not return calls. He would not return messages.
All right. What's the defendant's name? Again, your son's name?
Zane Buring.
Okay. I'm going to set that for a hearing tomorrow morning.
I don't know if I can. Okay, we live in Austin, Texas. I got up at 4 a.m. to be here.
Yeah, we were going to see he's gone. What I wanted to do is set it for tomorrow. Have Mr. Ducler in here explain why he's acting that way. If that's the way he's acting now, I'm hearing your version. I want to hear him too.
Yes,
but he's supposed to handle.
Boom! That line hits hard. When Judge Stevens says the scientific test proves otherwise, he's shutting down emotion with cold evidence. In court, feelings don't outweigh forensics. Here's the legal truth. Once a lab confirms drug use, there's almost no arguing residual THC. That's like saying the breathalyzer was wrong after 2 margaritas.
All defendants are supposed to be represented by competent, vigorous representation.
And he told me outside he didn't care, sir. And that's where his words.
Well, I'd like to. Yeah, I need to.
Mr. Ducler was standing there when I was trying to talk to him.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, he didn't hear it. He was saying he was outside.
Well, I mean, don't call witnesses if you don't know what they're saying.
Sir, I'm sorry. I just thought he was standing there. I apologize. But Your Honor, I can attest to my son has been staying out of trouble.
Okay, but the scientific test proves otherwise. We've been doing this 19 years, sir.
It's been less than 40 days, sir, since he was arrested. And I promise you, sir, he's been doing everything to stay out of the way. Enrolled in school, in college.
You're saying that the marijuana has been in his system for 40 days?
Sir,
is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. I would like to.
Sorry, it's not going to work. Sir, it doesn't. That's not the way it works.
Up to hair follicles 90 days, up to 60 days in your urine if you're a chronic user.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. We're going to give you Mr. Ducler's number. I want to know if he's recusing. There's a posted note right there. If he does not answer phone calls in regards to immediate family members who are trying to get information for their client, that would be inappropriate, and I'll have.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
And then he's appointed at the court's discretion, and if lawyers are not treating clients and relatives of clients, especially those who are in custody,
Now, this is rare. The judge is actually scheduling a separate hearing to investigate the lawyer's behavior. That shows integrity. Most judges won't entertain complaints about public defenders mid-case. But Judge Stevens? He wants accountability on both sides of the bench.
appropriately and professionally, then I'll deal with it firmly.
Your Honor.
And that I don't put up with that, and I don't generally get complaints. But when it does, when we do, we get to we address them. You have a right to find out as much information as you can about your
3
child.
weeks, Your Honor, but Your Honor, I promise you, my son, I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for the fact that he was doing so well in life. I would not be standing here preaching. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
Well, look, just at the end of the day, not to say that you're don't act naive, but let me just tell you, when people use drugs, I've only been doing this for 40 years, involved as a defense attorney,
Yeah.
a prosecutor, a judge now for 19 years.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to drugs, people are rarely forthright
Yes, sir.
because it's something they know is wrong and they hide it, and it gets the best of them, and they lose their abilities to really think rationally because they become the drug overpowers them, and it's always been that way.
Always, yes, sir.
And
Long as
I see it over and over again.
My brother
And
died of
the
drug
family
overdose.
members are the last. They're never going to do things in front of their family or let their family know because they know it's wrong. They're ashamed of it, but they're stuck. And I'm thinking when we deal with this, we have a 92% success rate in our probation, especially drug cases.
Yes, sir.
The average is 75% in the country.
Yes.
We have a 92 because we deal with things pretty aggressively on getting help, especially with drugs.
Yes, sir.
But I know what you're saying,
he has,
but
he
I
doesn't
know,
use
I
any
don't,
other drugs.
but I know what happens over and over
Yes,
again
sir.
for 40 years, sir.
Yes, sir.
40 years.
I have no
It's-
doubt in my
The
mind.
parents come up here and they're shocked and ashamed and they're trying to defend their child, but he's a grown up
Yes, sir.
and you don't see him all the time. And they're not going to use drugs in front of you. They're
No,
not going
sir,
to want to embarrass.
Yes, sir. I wouldn't. I understand what you're saying. Yes, sir.
But
Again,
the
he doesn't
scientific
use-
test is what we use, and that is
Your
is-
Honor, if
is,
you were to give him a
proven.
chance, I can guarantee you, he comes back in for 30 days, he will not have anything in his
it's in the
system.
debate.
That would give
I don't
plenty
deal
of time
with.
for his system to be clean of
I
marijuana.
can't deal with. I'm not going to deal with you on that. He tested positive, and that's what we test for. Now, his lawyer needs to get in the game to get him up here so we can resolve this case one way or the other.
So that's when I had asked him outside. I asked him if he would come in and try to talk to you. He said, "No, this isn't Austin." And I said, "Sir, you're here to represent my son." He said, "Do you live in Austin?" And he brought up Austin again. I said, "Sir, I lived here as a child. I know what
I
you
understand,
see."
and he
And then
shouldn't.
he walked off on me.
This part's powerful. Stevens is speaking from experience, 40 years in law, and he's seen the same heartbreaking cycle: addiction, denial, and families caught in the middle. You can hear the father's desperation, but the judge knows the pattern. Users hide, parents defend, and truth gets buried under love.
I said, "Sir, can you please go let them know he hasn't been out?"
Are you? But you're not going to be able to be here tomorrow.
No, sir. I missed up. I own a tattoo studio, and
Okay.
he's got school in the morning and work tomorrow.
I'm sorry. I can get him back in the morning and talk to the attorney and have him explain, but you're not going to be here, and have him explain what you have told me. And without you being here,
Yeah.
it's not going to be much of a debate.
Yes, sir.
But I can bring your son back and ask or direct him, since I appointed him
That
as
would be
the attorney,
amazing, sir.
direct him to aggressively deal with this case, and also be forthright with family members, close family members, so they are not in the dark on the way he's going to represent your son.
Yes, sir. And I can show you numerous calls that we've made to his office, both of us, over the past 2 weeks. No answer, no reply to messages, very thorough messages, very clear. Made sure we just need to get some information about court. We were trying to appear by Zoom today because we live so far and he
Yes,
has work.
Oh,
And we thought that would be better. But, Your Honor, I
But
promise
see,
you,
that's,
if
see,
he
that's
wasn't
another problem.
working so hard
This
to
is
stay
why I
away
don't
from
do,
here,
see, this is also why we rarely do Zoom, is because when it's dealing with drug cases, we don't have the ability to test.
sure.
And
Yes, sir.
I can guarantee every drug defendant would want to appear by Zoom, and we're not able to test, which is what we have
And
to.
Your Honor, we didn't get a reply. We drove our butts up here. I got up
Good.
at 4 o'clock this morning after I worked till midnight.
I thought
I slept an
you got
hour.
caught in a storm, huh?
I drove through it, Your Honor.
Yeah, that was a
drove
bad
through it.
storm.
He's not a flight risk. He's not going anywhere, and he's not a doper. He smokes in the hot, man. And I,
That's not right,
no,
but that's not
no,
right.
it's not.
And you
It's
don't
not
even,
right.
and here's the
he's
deal,
done-
you don't
he's
even know
done-
what if unless you're making it, you don't know what's in it anymore.
Right. It's
I mean,
dangerous.
I had people here with synthetic marijuana cases.
It's so
which
bad.
is-
And you know,
which is
there's a lot
like-
of legislature going on, so there's a lot of that stuff with THC going on in Austin right now. And I totally understand it's illegal, period. But Your Honor, I promise you, it's been a small amount of time, and with the amount of weed that these guys smoke every day, all day, I know that he's doing the right thing, Your Honor. If he wasn't, I wouldn't be standing here.
No.
He's doing better than he's ever done. His
All right.
mother's been in prison for murder since he was 4.
So
I wasn't worth. His mother's been in prison for murder since he was 4. Out of this, Jennifer Walter. Yeah,
in
that's
this court,
I don't know who it was. Halloween night of 1999. Her Jennifer Walter and Christopher.
yeah, when that was before I got there.
Yeah. It was me. I was 19 years old when I had him. It was me. And that was it. And I didn't have any parental guidance. I'm lucky to be standing here in front of you myself, sir. I'm
Why is that? Because you've learned to make the right choices.
because I didn't make I didn't make good choices, and I didn't have anybody to help me make good choices. But he has somebody here now, and although I wasn't doing the best when I was younger, as past 14 years have been phenomenal. I own 2 businesses. I also help with an entertainment company, and I'm staying out the way. And I've worked. I would not. A year and a half ago, I would not be standing here talking to you. I wouldn't be here.
What I do when you test positive, you heard
Yes, sir.
bond is revoked,
Yes,
then
sir.
it's double. Plus, you have to wear a drug patch.
Yeah,
And that's
I can't
all
afford
of the-
double the bond.
Yeah.
I spent everything I had just to.
And there it is, the emotional core of this whole case. The kid's mom is in prison for murder. Dad's been trying to turn life around, running 2 businesses, doing better. And now he's begging the system not to lose his son too. This isn't just a courtroom scene. It's generational pain playing out in real time. Wilted Flower. You can feel the judge's tones soften here. He respects the effort, but law still has its boundaries.
Get him
What
out.
I'll do is I'm going to list, I'll bring him back tomorrow. Whatever the bond may be, I can change a bond.
Yes,
for
sir. I'm
anything.
poor.
But a drug patch is going to be required.
Yes, Your Honor. If he comes back in here and he's dirty, lock him up and don't give him a bond. I don't care.
But
I
he
promise
can't,
you, he's
we
doing
don't
good.
release him until he tests negative.
Okay, yeah, it will.
And then
probably
he's
take
going to have
about
to have a
30
drug
days.
patch. Because if you put a drug patch on early, it'll test positive.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yes, sir.
When they
And
take
I don't
it off.
want that for him.
Yeah,
and I
he's-
just don't
he's
want him to
involved.
get kicked out of school.
So we'll bring him back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then I'll do I'll do a drug test on him and see what happens tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah,
And then-
it's just for marijuana, and that stuff binds to the
No.
fats. It's not like it's out of your system in 72 days. If you do the research, it binds to the fat cells in your
Thank
system.
you.
30 to 60
I'm familiar
days.
with it,
Yes,
sir.
up to 90 in the hair.
But too often marijuana is used
Yes,
as
sir.
a carrier with other methods. And
He just had.
also you don't know what's in how some marijuana is stronger than others, and it just works that way and works differently. And that's why when you sniff it, if you smell it, you run like the wind,
Mhm.
especially if you're on bond. You don't even want to sniff it.
Yes,
You
sir.
want to move out of the way, stay out of the way.
Oh, and that's almost
Because you don't know
impossible out
what it's going to
there.
take to get into your system. And the tests are those are profoundly accurate tests. is what has been proven accurate through court decisions and science. So that's why we don't do it flippantly.
If it had been over 2 months, I would definitely not even have asked you anything about that or even attempted to. I just thought his attorney should have said, Your Honor, sir, he has only been out of jail for 40 days. He hasn't had enough time to get his system cleaned out. Give him a couple of weeks to get his system cleaned out, come back, take a test.
We'll bring him back tomorrow and see where he is. Yes. And then I'll bring him back every few days until it tests negative.
Okay. And that's fair. And when he tests negative, sir, I promise you.
And I'll talk to Mr. Ducler about what your complaints are, but
I'll try again, Your Honor, to contact him. And even on his Google reviews, it says he does not contact us. Because I tried to make sure I was calling the right thing. And on the reviews, it says he will not communicate with his client. And it's several reviews if you look yourself. And that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't.
I was scared when I walked out there and he was representing my kid because he didn't even sit here and say, oh, no, sir, he's this.
Okay.
You know, that was the first thing he should have said was that he has only been out for 40 days.
Okay. All right.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen.
You have the defendant's name for tomorrow?
Yeah.
On this case? Thanks.
I get back
Now that's classic Judge Stevens. Firm, fair, but hopeful. He's giving the son one last chance to prove himself clean. Legal takeaway. When a judge sets a follow-up test instead of revoking bond immediately, that's a small window of grace, but one mistake, and it's over.